Today we'll be talking about Marion Knapp and some of the woodworking things that he did. We'll have a little introduction about him. And this is all taken from an article that was written by Dave Patterson back in 1976. The first paragraph here, just a little comment by Marion, and then we'll be looking at his life a little bit and at his picture. "It's a hobby gone almost out of hand," says Marion Knapp, 83 of Glen Haven. The hobby Knapp is referring to is the type of woodworking called wood turning, and he is an expert at it. Now to look at Marion Knapp, and we'll see his picture here now. Marion Knapp is a lifelong resident of this area, born in Glen Haven in 1892, and has lived on the same farm out on Blake's Prairie for the last 56 years. Knapp retired from farming in 1955 and has since sold all the land except for the acre or so around the house. He also served as Secretary-Treasurer of Bloomington Farmers Mutual Fire Insurance Company for 23 years and as Director of the same insurance company for 31 years, positions Knapp is quite proud of. Now we'll be finding out a little more how he got into woodworking, but we won't be looking at some of the examples yet, and I will point out when we do. Knapp says he got involved with woodworking about 15 years ago doing a lot of furniture repair. After about 5 years, Knapp says he got out of furniture work and concentrated on wood turning. Knapp's wife Pearl, who died 3 years ago at this time it was written, and he gives her much of the credit for his workings with wood. "She's the one who got me started," he says. So sometimes behind every successful man might be a woman. Keep that in mind. Knapp had no formal training to learn his craft and says, "I pretty much picked up everything from just doing." And what he does well. And here we'll look at a picture of some of the things, because it's going to be mentioned here, some of the different things that he tried to make. You don't see everything there, but you'll see some of them. Knapp has made all shapes and sizes of sandwich plates, lamps, candlestick holders, covered candy dishes, mallets, and compotes. When asked if he had any idea of these items he had made, Knapp responded that he kept track of the candy dishes and he made 770 of them. If you can imagine, that's a lot of work. Now, we'll talk about some of the woods that he tried to use in Knapp. Knapp does his wood turning using mostly his own methods and designs. He displayed the lamp he just finished into what he had incorporated 8 local woods: cherry, butternut, hard maple, red elm, walnut, cedar, Osage orange, and white ash to make a beautiful vertically layered product. So he really goes into a lot of depth, as you can see. Knapp tours area sawmills to get his lumber, and oftentimes people will find a log or board they think Marion might be able to use, so they take it to him. After obtaining the wood, Knapp strips it and then lets it air dry for 3 months. He then takes the wood to Reedsburg, where it is kiln dried. So you can see back then, this is a long time ago, but you see all the work that's involved in getting this wood properly prepared. And that's what we're talking about right here. Knapp tours area sawmills to get his lumber, and oftentimes people will find a log or board they think Marion might be able to use, so they take it to him. After obtaining the wood, Knapp strips and then lets it air dry for 3 months. He then takes the wood to Reedsburg, where it is kiln dried. I think I mentioned it already, but it's good to keep in mind extra time. When the wood gets back from Reedsburg, it is ready to be shaped. If Knapp plans on using more than one type of wood in an item, he will glue the woods together under pressure before putting it on the lathe. The lathe is simply a machine which keeps the wood centered and turns the wood at the same time. Knapp then holds a sharpened blade to the wood, which shaves it to his liking. He says, "Anybody can do this. All one must do is keep the blade steady," Knapp says. Now, Dave, who wrote the article, says an understatement to say the least. Not quite as easy as it probably sounds there, but Knapp was trying to encourage everyone. Knapp has done a countless number of wood pieces over the last 10 years and was especially proud of a walnut table which he donated to the West Grant Rescue Squad. He says, "I heard that table sold for $402, Knapp said. Wood pieces by Marion Knapp are in high demand, I suspect, remember here in the earlier 70s, and this demand has caused his hobby to grow into almost full-time work. I'm trying to slow down," Knapp says at the time. "Slowing down doesn't mean stopping," and Knapp concluded, "I'll do it as long as I am physically able." Now, speaking from my own experience, I remember when I was first here seeing some of the work that he did, and it really was marvelous. You wouldn't believe the talent involved there, and he learned us all by doing himself, not taught anything there. And I think people probably prize anything that was ever made by him, and I'm sure there are different people in the area that could say that and are proud of what he made. And that concludes this program on Marion Knapp.